Hey guys, Brenny here, and welcome to the brief history of Brenny Beast and where I've been at. So we'll start from the starts for the people that weren't around the whole journey because it's been a pretty long one and it's also been 5 years. So at 16, my friends would come over to my house after school. We'd play PlayStation with a speaker between our legs and my phone sticky taped to it, recording the screen while we played Call of Duty, and we'd take shots and have so much fun screaming and shouting when we do six trick shots or get a really cool kill streak. And then my friends would go home and I'd edit up the videos, chuck whatever music I wanted on there. Back then, people didn't know. You didn't know that, you know? You just put whatever music you wanted on there. And then the next day, I'd upload it to my YouTube channel, go to school, and we'd all watch it, and it was awesome vibes. Some of my fondest memories, and definitely finding something I was super passionate about. So over time, my friends weren't always allowed over, so I started playing Minecraft. I saw CNANers playing it, and I'm like, what is it? What is this trash game? And then I saw someone else play it, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's alright. If two people play it, then it might be an alright game. So I tried it. I got Minecraft, very legally got it, and gave it a shot and fell in love. I was hooked. A little bit later, my aunt got it for me properly, also very legally done. No, she did get it properly. I remember she was so worried getting it for me because I'm like, send money to this website and they're gonna give me a game. You know, back then that was so that was new. That was new content, buying games online. You used to have to buy the disc. And so I started doing world tours. I actually have my first ever world tour and my first ever worlds. And I just did a live world tour and it went really well. Like, people were asking questions about things, so I started making tutorials on all the things they asked questions about. And then I started doing like a little bit of a let's play, and then I did other let's plays. And then one day I did hardcore, and that was where it kind of really trajected up. Like, I got partnership at like less than 1,000 subs. Back then that was outrageous. Each video you wanted to monetize, you had to individually write like, Mojang gives permission to blah blah blah. Back then I swear I wrote Notch or Marcus Preston or whatever his name is. Yeah, so my friends had stopped coming over. We weren't doing the COD montages anymore because they were getting strikes on my channel. That's a sad story. That's the first sad bit of the YouTube. But yeah, I did the hardcore, and that's when it all started to ramp up. It became this thing. I started making money for it. We hit 50k subs. I did a meetup at a local shopping center, and I was like, if 5 people come, I'm stoked. If 10 people come, that's the dream. I brought my friends with me because I was worried no one was gonna come. And like 70, I remember turning the corner where I said we were gonna meet up, and there was like 100 people there, and I'm like, oh, there must be something on. And then like people are like, oh, is that Brenny? And then like I remember them all walking to me because I hadn't revealed my face properly by then. I think I wore a top with Brenny Beast on it. I had it like custom made. There was also a shopping center, like a little thing that did that at that same shopping center. That might have been for that, or maybe I just hoped that people guessed it was me. I can't remember. But yeah, about 70 people came. That was outrageous. Not long after we got close to the 100k, and I went out to dinner with Braden Got Game, and yeah, I remember sitting there refreshing and seeing it hit 100k and just buying us a cute little dinner date between Braden and I, and then I dropped out of school to do it full time. It wasn't outrageous money, it never was, especially in those earlier days with YouTube. But I lived with my granddad, and that was a huge support pillar to allow me to take that risk. And I don't regret it at all. I found my passion. I found something that some people go their whole life not finding something that's in them. You know, there's like a thirst for it, and that's what this is. There hasn't been a day where I haven't thought about like making content or saw something and gone, oh, if they did that this way, it'd be a really good video idea. But yeah, so ups and downs throughout the years. I tried different content. I tried not swearing. I tried swearing. I went around. I didn't know what I was doing. I was on this roller coaster almost as much as you guys. I had no clue what was going on. And it felt like a blink, you know? But anyway, as my channel was on a down one day, we were at about 174k subs, I think, was my peak. My grandma passed away. and that was very hard on my mum. It was hard on me as well, but I knew like, all right, my channel's already at a down. I'll support my mum, but I need to keep making content or else I'm essentially gonna lose my job. A few months later, well, less than a year later, my granddad passed away, and as I was just mentioning, that was my support pillar. So my mum was very much trying to be there for me, but I was a wreck. I just couldn't put on a happy face. And I wasn't that kind of YouTuber. I always, what you saw in my videos was me. What you see in my live streams was me and is me. And if I was off, I kind of had to just take the time off, you know? So what I tried to do was get Beastcraft, and I was thinking like, oh, part-time job, and that will take the stress of finances off me because I lived with my granddad. So when he passed away, bills went up, but my income was at an all-time low. And that stressed me out and all that. So I got the opportunity to start a mechanical like trades hand, which is where you essentially help qualified mechanics, but it actually paid really well because it was like I wasn't an apprentice. I was legitimately, that would have been my end pay. So after 3 weeks of that, I actually, I was surprisingly good at it. I took, you guys know I've always been interested in cars. That's always been a tentpole topic of the channel. And yeah, so I started my mechanical apprenticeship, and I always intended to come back, but by that time I just had no time. I remember my first few weeks of being a mechanic. I'd wake up at 6 a.m., go to work, come home at like 5 p.m., lay in bed, and just, I was out till 6 a.m. again. Like, I was so unfit and all that, but that's generally the history of YouTube. I skimmed over a lot, tried to keep it short because I don't want this to be super long-winded. I honestly, I just want to say thank you. Thank you guys so much for enabling me to find something I was truly passionate about and supporting a young, ignorant kid and, giving me that chance, I could have been anyone else. I definitely have learned over the past few months. I have a knack for this, but it doesn't mean, you couldn't do it. I just chased my dream and I took a shot. And I thank you all very much for being a part of that, whether you tacked on later in or was there from the start, the original hardcore world. I just want to say thank you guys. And I thought I'd speak about some of the things that have happened in the past 5 years. So obviously doing YouTube, I had a terrible work-life balance. I had no clue what I was doing. I was straight out of school into this weird situation. So I didn't eat correctly. I didn't sleep correctly. I was smashing energy drinks all day, every day, like 5 a day. At the age of 21, I was having heart pains from energy drinks. That's when I stopped, by the way. You got to read your body. When you're having heart pains at 21, you definitely need to read your body. So as you can see, I'm much slimmer than any of the little past pictures they've seen of me. That's partially because of being a mechanic. I was much more active, and partially because I kind of started learning myself. I learned I learned to balance. I saw my family and my friends more. I've done more. I've learned about my mental capacity more. That's some general stuff. And a lot of that, like, one of the big things I chased is I actually got to drift. Now that I'm a qualified mechanic, I wanted to drift when I did YouTube, but there was just no work-life balance. I didn't have the time. I had the car sitting in the garage, ready to start working on it, but I didn't have the experience or the time, and I've got to do that now. I've done over 10 events. I've hit a wall. I've had some of the most stressful moments driving to a racetrack with no sleep at all and just ending the day with the biggest smile on my face. I definitely, it's not a regret that I left YouTube. I've definitely needed something to kind of give me a normal life schedule to see what that's like. But I definitely know that I gave up an opportunity and I feel bad for that. I went through a trampolining phase. I sold my Supra, which was the Supra was my big expense on the YouTube channel. It wasn't even that expensive, especially back then. They're very expensive now. But yeah, I may have hit a gutter 3 days before selling it, fixed it up. Some guy lowballed the piss out of me. And I was like, you know what? You can have it. Right now, he could sell it for more, so I don't feel like I took advantage of him. I feel like he still took advantage of me. But I needed a work car, so I sold my Supra and bought a $200 car. And that lasted me 2 years. It didn't even blow up or anything. It lasted me, and then I sold it because I actually built this car. That you guys should be able to see. I don't know how the camera picks up, a screen. But yeah, I built my dream car, which is an S13. I went through a dirt bike phase as well, which was weird. I went dirt bike riding with my family quite a bit. I didn't get my license or my own dirt bike. I was about to, but then my family had some accidents, and it was like falling off a dirt bike. Damn, that hits you hard. Like, I was always a pretty rough lad. Like, I'd always play sport with the other kids at school and didn't mind getting tackled and stuff, but damn, getting thrown off a motorbike hurts. Oh, I cut my hand at one of my workplaces and had my first ever night in hospital, surgery, needles, I had the full shebang. That was my first time doing that. I've had some car accidents, two my fault, two not my fault. I've sampled life, and I think I needed that. I built a smart car with the Misfits, which is an awesome YouTube video. I'd highly recommend checking that out. Did a video with Dwight, kind of speaking about all this stuff in a bit more detail, but also not. It was a weird situation because one thing is I wanted to make this video over the years, but I was waiting for the perfect moment, and there isn't a perfect moment. Life is never going to stop for you and wait for you to have this perfect setup. So I'm in a pretty good place now, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. What else have we done? I broke up with Crystal. I've been to Japan. I just spat. My car's been broken into too many times. It's a very hot topic car. I've met so many of you guys, which is bizarre because when I did YouTube, I didn't put my face out there very much. But now because I have like Instagram and stuff, anyone that like looks me up knows what I look like now. And I've been at car meets, or I remember one day I was driving home at 2:30 a.m. on a paved road. There was no one there, like one of those toll roads to get from point A to point B quicker. I know, explaining a toll road, pinnacle content. And I get this picture sent to me, and they're like, "Hey, Brenny, is this you?" And I'm like, "How the hell do you know that was me, and what? How?" But yeah, I've been good. I've been good, guys. There was always like this hole in me to do this again, and I suppose that's where we should get into it. For the past 6 months, I have been streaming 3 times a week. I've been loving it. So many of you guys have rocked up. I've had more success than I could have ever imagined with it. But I always wanted to make videos. You guys, the streaming was always my secondary and videos were always my primary. And it's kind of been the other way at the moment. And I don't mind that. I love entertaining. That's what I figured it out. Like, I don't care about what game it is. I don't care about what platform it is. I like to make people smile and happy and just be a good thing in people's lives. I don't really ever want to be too serious. I think too many people in life are serious. But yeah, so I want to start making videos again. I do have some video content prepared, so you guys will be seeing that. I want to go into other games. I recently purchased my own VR after borrowing a friend's, and I'm very excited for that stuff. That's going to be crazy. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the future. I want to thank you guys so much for supporting me, whether you did in the past or are going to continue to support me. Feel free to resub to the YouTube, because I know YouTube's got 7 ways to subscribe now, or feel free to follow me on Twitch. I'll link that down below, as well as my Discord. I think they're probably the best ways to stay in touch with me. I'll also follow this video up with a question and answer in a bit of time. So if you have any more things you want me to go into more detail about, because I did want to skim over it all in this video. Also, what else? If you do want to help out and go that extra little length, I do have notes here, by the way. That's why I'm not like looking at someone that's telling me. If you want to help out and help, give me this second wind, feel free to send this to a person that used to watch me, or you think that might enjoy me now. I'm definitely a different person. I'm not holding any grudges to people in the past. That I was very emotional. I am very emotional, so. When in the past, if someone upset me, I was upset at them, and now it's like, oh, you're an adult. If people make mistakes, everyone makes mistakes. So yeah, I want to come into this fresh, but I also am aware I have this huge history with YouTube and all that. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Much love. Like, honestly, you guys have allowed me to do my dream multiple times at this point. So thank you all very much for watching. Hope to see you guys in the live streams some more, and hope that you guys enjoy my new content. Bye.